queued him up. We talked about it all the way up the hill.
I am not from the Blue Ridge Mountains, but I now call them home. Their beauty is unsurpassed. Their people and culture, too. In 2022, we featured here on Buzz a nonprofit whose name is defined by this region, Friends of the Blue Ridge. At the time, the organization had just embraced a new mission following the pandemic and breakup with its longtime partner, the National Park Service. Now, 2 years later, Friends has been able to broaden and deepen its work to make Blue Ridge communities better, and now stands at a summit surveying how best to help preserve this region for generations to come. We are honored to stand alongside Friends, and in today's episode, help it achieve more. Buzz.
I'm Julie Whalen, and I'm the Executive Director of Friends of the Blue Ridge, a member and volunteer-based nonprofit headquartered in Roanoke, Virginia, with a mission of working to make Blue Ridge communities better. The Blue Ridge region of Virginia and North Carolina is a really special place. We moved here from Indiana, and I grew up in Texas. So the landscape here is dramatically different, and it's not just the outdoor landscape, it's the people and the culture here that is so very unique. Friends was on Buzz in 2022, and at that time we were asking for support with our first ever Blue Ridge Jamboree that showcased legendary Blue Ridge Appalachian musicians, Jack Hencherwood and Wayne Henderson. I wanted to say hi, I'm Julie Whalen from Friends of the Blue Ridge, and I'm really excited that you guys are here tonight. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks, Julie.
Our pleasure.
Since then, Friends has used the Jamboree to highlight young, up-and-coming musicians like Newfound Gap and Appalachian Roots from the Asheville, North Carolina area, and Addie Levy in Virginia, who is now working in Nashville and Dollywood. In 2023, Friends also started a scholarship program, awarding $30,000 to 30 students who plan to use their college degrees to enhance our Blue Ridge region. Friends also now supports community building efforts like public playgrounds, bike racks, pollinator gardens, and public art spaces throughout the Blue Ridge. A lot of its work in Virginia is funded through proceeds from its specialty license plate.
Our specialty license plate program has been around for 10 years and is a very important revenue stream for the organization. It allows us to fund significant projects in Virginia. For example, the playground here at Explorer Park was a $50,000 investment from Friends and other partner organizations to fill a niche here on the landscape of the park. So when you are requesting your plate renewal, if you're at the DMV or online, you select the Friends of the Blue Ridge license plate. You pay an extra $25 to get the specialty plate, and $15 of that comes back to Friends to allow things like this to happen.
So it's my understanding that there are like more than 10,000 motorists so far in Virginia?
Correct. We don't have official numbers, but we know that it's over 10,000, probably getting closer to 15,000. It's a lot of people helping the Blue Ridge. We're here hoping to get some marketing support so that we can get more exposure for the plate program and get a little more buzz so that more people are inspired to get the plate and we can continue to do more in Blue Ridge communities.
Well, when it comes to promoting the outdoors and Blue Ridge communities, one name comes to mind. Carrie Cousins, Director of Marketing at LeadPoint Digital.
Carrie Cousins, LeadPoint Digital, thank you so much for coming back on to Buzz and helping out another great nonprofit, which I think their mission is going to be near and dear to your heart. Blue Ridge Mountains, outdoors.
Thank you for having me for this one. I'm so excited to be working with Friends for this episode. You know, this really is something that's near and dear to my heart, between growing up driving and riding on the Blue Ridge Parkway to running the Blue Ridge Marathon on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and just all of the activities that happen in this area and are so supportive of our region. You know, the opportunity to just be able to give a tiny bit back for this episode feels incredible.
Well, thank you so much. I know whatever you come up with is just going to be spectacular for not only Friends of the Blue Ridge, but the community as a whole. So thank you.
Thank you. We can't wait to get started.
While Carrie Cousins got to work promoting the license plate, I set out to discover what the license plate funds in Virginia. Some of this we featured in our 2022 episode, and some is new and happening right now.
I'm Lynn Davis, and I am a founder and a board officer of Friends of the Blue Ridge.
My name is Benjamin Dye, and I'm from Rocky Mount, Virginia. And I'm a freshman engineering student at Virginia Tech, and my goal is to major in biological systems engineering.
It's fundamental. Good air, good water, beautiful landscapes. The diversity on the Blue Ridge Parkway is one of the most diverse in all of the world with the plants and the wildlife.
So as a career, I'd like to either work as an environmental or ecological engineer and work in the areas where humans and the environment interact, so that way they can make lives better for humans as well as making the environment healthier and greener for everybody.
I've worked in education most of my life. I had over 70 interns that I mentored, and I love the fact that we can give kids who are interested in studying natural resources or our legacy, Appalachian music and those values, a chance to help them with their education studies, because they're our leaders. They'll be our future leaders, to learn how to be good land stewards, to have the science and the background to know how to manage in a sustainable manner.
So I grew up, I was a Boy Scout, I was always outdoors, and I just fell in love with the outdoors. I loved fishing, I loved hiking, and so it just kind of grew as a passion, as I knew that there were careers in that, and I want to preserve the environment for future generations so they can have similar experiences that I had growing up.
Our first year we had 30 applicants that received scholarships, and this year we're working on awarding them. We've had over 55 applicants. So it tells me that it's working, to have some extra funds to buy books for things that they need, because the scholarships go directly to the people. And I had help when I went through college, and I've always appreciated it. So it's a nice way to pay back and to also give a legacy for our region, so that we have well-trained, educated people who know how to manage wealth.
It really helps to have the funding, and I'm glad to see that there are organizations out there that will support students like me. And so just thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to give back someday.
The Blue Ridge Mountains in Shenandoah Valley are probably the most beautiful place this side of heaven. My grandmother used to say that. We have something worth protecting and preserving. There are certain things that places you should develop and not develop. And we need to make sure our values for the natural beauty and the landscapes stay sustainable. We've enjoyed them. Now it's somebody else's turn.
My name is Gary Dirk. I'm on the board of the Friends of the Blue Ridge, and I'm an avid bicyclist. Have been since I was a kid. We rode 2-speed bicycles, stand up and sit down. My wife is also very avid. We rode our bicycles in Europe when I was in the Army, and we have ridden across the United States from Virginia Beach to Astoria, Oregon on the bike route 76. So we are both passionate about bike racks and transportation, alternative transportations that bicycles offer. And my wife was fortunate enough to win Cox Communications Conservation Hero a few years ago. And she has given her money to the Friends to construct and place bike racks in the communities along the Blue Ridge corridor. So we're very happy to be able to do that, and very happy that they are being accepted and more are asked for.
I'm Vicki Deppen-Smith, and I'm the chapter chair of the Peaks of Otter Friends of the Blue Ridge chapter. And we are currently working with Clater Nature Center in Bedford, and our primary project is doing a nature playground for kids. Friends of the Blue Ridge has funded a new pavilion, and we have a stump jump where the kids can jump on stumps, a fairy and gnome garden, and we have hopes of putting in like a little library. So many kids just sit in with media, and don't get outside to play, and they can run around, just be out in nature.
In addition to the license plate funding, the backbone of Friends is the hundreds of volunteers who work to make Blue Ridge communities better. One example is here at Camp Altamont in Montgomery County, Virginia.
So we have two chapters, our Roanoke chapter and our Rocky Knob chapter, that have come together to work with Altamonts to help prepare them for their summer season. So today we are painting a cabin that will be used for staff housing for the summer. We also have some volunteers working on sweeping out cabins that'll be used for campers in the month of July.
Hi, I'm Libby Wilcox, and I'm chairman of the Rocky Knob chapter of the Friends of the Blue Ridge. And we are here painting today, not in the Rocky Knob area, but up towards the Roanoke area. The little Camp Altamont needed some help painting. And we are known as the painters of the Parkway in our chapter. And so Julie said, can you come help? And we did. So there's 6 of us, I believe. Well, if you look around, you can tell why you want to be here, what a better place to work. I'm a camper, I'm an outdoors person. I love working on the Parkway. I love working in the area when it's like this. I have a hard time sitting at home on the porch when you could be out doing something. So we share what we can do. We have people that want to work, people who care about the area, as we all do. And to come up here and work today and help them is fun. Now my children say I have a weird sense of what fun is, but we all have fun doing it or we wouldn't do it, and we care.
Mary Ellen Belcher. I am with Friends of the Blue Ridge, and we are working on a monarch butterfly way station garden. Camp Altamont has given us the land, and there was some type of butterfly garden here before, but it's been many years since it's been maintained, so we're going to kind of start from scratch. Well, we were looking for a master gardener, and I found out through friends that Sarah was a master gardener, and so we asked her to participate, and she's going to be drawing up the garden design, what type of plants we need, how many, where to plant them.
My name is Sarah Post. I love anything to do with gardening. Today our main goal is to make sure that we start getting a handle on the weeds. It's been unmaintained for quite some time. So we need to make sure that this is ready for planting in the fall. Using some black plastic to suppress the weeds will help make sure that when we uncover it again, we're looking at fresh, good soil, ready for the compost, ready for the planting.
Altamont and Friends share a common mission in youth outdoors, and the next generation being excited about opportunities here in the Blue Ridge. So it was a great partnership for both organizations to come together, for our volunteers looking for a project and Altamont's looking for volunteers to come in and help move them forward as well.
So I'm Karen Orlando, and I am chapter chair of Friends of the Blue Ridge Humpback Rocks region, and I'm also president and founder of the Blue Ridge Children's Museum. Right now we're at the Blue Ridge Children's Museum at our natural playground, and that's where Friends kicked in because it was a natural tie-in to their mission about children and families learning about the outdoors and getting people connected and doing a nice community project. So they actually funded the vast majority of this playground, and it's been a wonderful opportunity for so many families. So the paintings are a current project that we're working on, and actually Friends has generously helped pay for our artist, Chicho Lorenzo, who's up there on his ladder. And what this is, it's a wonderful, exciting, interactive opportunity where families get to work with their children, and the children are creating drawings of themselves as bugs, flowers, or birds, or other creatures. You never know what they're going to send us, but that's kind of the general thing, something in nature. And they're submitting them to us, and then he's recreating those drawings up on the wall. And what it's going to be is sort of a meadow with all of these creatures within them, and we're tying it into the beautiful mural up above it with the tulips, and it's going to be sort of like a tulip garden. So we're so grateful that Friends was able to help with this funding, and I mean, every day there's children here playing, and it makes me so happy.
Robertson Mill was built in the 1880s, And then my grandfather bought it in 1931, and he ran it up until his death in 1966, and then my father ran it for a while until things started to deteriorate. Friends of the Blue Ridge were a godsend to us. I got a call out of nowhere, and Libby was very helpful in helping us get started and showing us some ways that they could help, volunteer-wise and funding-wise. In the future, we look forward to Friends of the Blue Ridge coming to help us out. We hear they're a very active group, and we look forward to their assistance in anything that we attempt to do in the future.
My name is Kerry Sims. I'm the local chairperson for the Fisher Peak chapter of Friends of the Blue Ridge. So the Fisher Peak chapter is named that because on top of the Blue Ridge Music Center is the mountain that's called Fisher Peak. And so that's our section of the Parkway. It's 17 miles between Fancy Gap and the North Carolina state line. Well, this year we've mainly focused on 3 projects. The Sidney Allen home is a historic home in the area on Highway 52 near Fancy Gap, and we put in a pollinator garden behind it, and as well as helping control the vegetation on the front slope so it doesn't look like it's highly eroded, which is what it was looking like.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Bunn and a member of the Friends of the Blue Ridge. We're in Fancy Gap, Virginia at the historic Sidney Allen home. In 1912, Sidney Allen was at the Hillsville courthouse. He and his family were there because his nephew was on trial. Sidney Allen built and lived in this house 1 year earlier. Shots broke out in the courtroom, and Sidney Allen and his family came back here to Fancy Gap to hide out. The Sidney Allen house today is owned by the Historic Society of Hillsville. My mother-in-law, Ruth Bunn, volunteered to donate all the plants, and my daughter, Vivian, had also worked with her and was a big help in putting the plants in. My Girl Scout troop came and worked and put in the plants. The Friends of the Blue Ridge group came, put in plants, mulched, helped weed. We all just come together as a big group periodically to work on these gardens.
We also have donated $4,000 to help start the Carroll Arts Center, which is housed in the Carter home in Hillsville.
Hi, I'm Jay Furman. I'm a member of the Friends of the Blue Ridge and Executive Director for the Carroll County Creative Arts Center. About a year ago, a little more than a year ago, there was not an art center here in Hillsville, or the county has not ever had an art center. This house was brought to my attention, so I went to the foundation's board. I presented my idea, they loved it, and they decided to donate a few rooms for our use to get started, where we have 2 galleries, a classroom, and a classroom in the process. Friends of the Blue Ridge was very generous. They came forward, open arms, loved the idea, and it's been a wonderful partnership ever since. The town is expanding their farmers market, which was behind the courthouse, which is next door. They're expanding it to now encompass the land behind us. I love installing pollinator gardens, and I have proposed a pollinator garden in between the 2 properties here. And they didn't have too much in the way of funding for landscaping, so I approached the Friends of the Blue Ridge and I said, can we install a pollinator garden? They said, sure.
One of the projects that we're really excited about was helping the town put this playground in called Brittany's Playground.
Brittany has a chromosomal abnormality that caused her to need a lot of assistance with ambulation and with day-to-day activities. And so as she grew up, it was hard for her to participate in regular activities, or typical activities, I should say, with her peers, because she needed those increased mobility supports. And here we are in 2022 with it behind us, and a lot of that is thanks to Friends of the Blue Ridge. They asked us what we would like. We sent them a wish list that was purely wishes, and they replied within a day. All their wishes will come true, and they donated money for the fence and the solar lights and trash cans and more. And not only did they donate the money, they donated their time. They've been here at the opening, they've spread the mulch, they're still asking what they can do, and it's been a fabulous collaboration with Friends of the Blue Ridge.
When we were Friends of the Blue Ridge Parkway, all we did was work along the Parkway, which was great. We had a lot of dedicated volunteers, but once we expanded into the communities around the Parkway, we've had a lot more opportunities open up. We've increased our active members by at least 3-fold just in the past year.
My name is Joyce Spees, and I am chair of the Northern Highlands Chapter Friends of the Blue Ridge. And my region starts at the North Carolina-Virginia state line and goes south to Deep Gap, which is almost to Boone. The park originally was built as a Eagle Scout project. And so the young man, raised all the money, got the help to do, got the pad poured and everything else. And it was very popular for about 10 years. And then because it was built out of plywood, it began to deteriorate and became unsafe. And so the town had to lock it and prevent further use. And as I say, when I saw that young man in there just looking around, knowing he couldn't use any of the ramps, I thought, we got to see what we can do. And so that's when I called friends, and being ever the optimist, Julie said, yeah, we can do that. Not knowing, neither one of us, what it was going to cost us in the end. But being the cockeyed optimist that I am, I figured we can do this. We will make it work. And I'm really pleased to see how strongly that the Friends has flipped its mission. And I think some of the projects that are coming down the pipeline from the organization itself and from the various chapters are benefit each of the communities along the road.
My name is Greg Martin. I'm the Outdoor Services Manager for Roanoke County's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. And today we're at Explorer Park on the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway. Explorer Park is a 1,400-acre park, both on Roanoke County side and the Bedford County side, that offers a wide range of outdoor recreation amenities for the public and visitors in the area. Friends has been a great partner through the years by wanting to support programs and music and other sensory experiences that guests and the public can enjoy out at the park. So over the last 2 years, Friends has helped us establish an outdoor classroom at the park and basically funded the resources required for us to offer SOLs to local school groups that come out and work with our park interpreters and naturalists to take care of those requirements. The customer experience has definitely risen to a new level through all the year-round wonderful opportunities that Friends of the Blue Ridge and their donations are allowing us to pursue.
So Friends of the Blue Ridge needs some marketing buzz to help promote its Virginia Specialty license plate. And Carrie Cousins at LeadPoint Digital has been working on that. And now it's time for the reveal of all of her work. But rather than find some place for us just to sit down and discuss it, I thought it'd be fun for us to take a drive, take in some beautiful Blue Ridge scenery and see what Carrie's been up to.
I took a phone call from somebody who's like, I Googled cemetery adoption and found...
Well, thanks for meeting with me today. We've had a ton of fun working on this project and really getting the word out about your mission and the license plate that people can get for their vehicles here in Virginia.
Thank you so much for tackling this for us.
So what we put together is we put together a Facebook campaign for you that's running to a bunch of different demographic groups in Virginia.
Okay.
So people on this side of the Blue Ridge, so that they can get more information about the license plate and potentially purchase it. That includes men and women, multiple age groups in different cities and locations along the Blue Ridge Mountains. But it also includes some extra demographic layering, like putting on people who are outdoor enthusiasts or people who like to go for scenic drives, so that the people who click on the ads are actually more likely to convert when they get to your website.
Okay.
We do this primarily because it maximizes your budget, right? Like you don't have to worry about people clicking because they saw the picture and it was cool. There are actually people who might be more inclined to actually get the license plate and support your cause.
Oh, that's really great.
So the ads are running now. We've done a really good job so far in the first 3 weeks of the campaign with more than 350 clicks to your website.
Wow.
Those people click through. Then they see the page on your website where the information about the plate is located. They can get information about all of the things that the money goes to.
Yeah, all the projects that it's funding.
It's great, right? Because they see, oh, this is a thing I want, and here's what it supports.
Doing good. Yeah.
I love the do good part.
Yes.
And so from there, they click through to the DMV's website to actually go ahead and get that license plate.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, LeadPoint does this for a variety of clients. We really feel honored to be able to do it for a nonprofit organization like yourself and actually see the impact. This is where it's not just about doing the work, but it's part of that feel good, right? Like, we love to be able to see that we are helping out.
Yeah, and what's great for us as a nonprofit with a small staff and a small marketing budget, and not really having a real depth of skills to be able to pull this off at this caliber, it's so great that you guys are able to come in and help us really fill that gap as a resource so we can maximize our budget and really reach the people that we're trying to connect with.
Well, we were happy to help and look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.